everyone, welcome to Joko Outdoors. My name's Ken, and today I'm going to be reviewing my crossbow, the Barnett Whitetail Hunter STR. So I want to show you what I got. Alright, so this is the Barnett Whitetail Hunter STR step through riser. And I'm just going to do a little review about it. I got it about 6 weeks ago. Actually, I'm sorry. I got it 2 weeks ago. And I had done an unboxing, but the video got corrupted, so I figured I'd just do a review on it. Alright, so first thing, I put these on, these are limb savers, silencers. The bow is a little bit noisy without them. But one of the things, I'll show you a couple of features on it. Alright, so you got these silencer bars here for the string, similar to what a lot of the modern bows have on it, to silence the string from bouncing too much. You've got this step-through riser, as I talked about before. It comes with a quiver, 3-arrow quiver. It comes with 2 arrows with field points on it. But those are out in the shop. These are my ones I use for hunting, and I'll talk about these here in a minute as well. It comes with a 4x32 scope, and for a pretty inexpensive scope, you can tell it's not one of the top of the brand, but it works really good, and it zeroes really well too as well. And it's for the reason why I chose this one. All Barnett crossbows have this particular trigger. It's made by Trigger Tech right here, and it's they say it's a $200 value. So if you go over to Trigger Tech, you'll notice you can upgrade your crossbow to this trigger. Now it's a little bit cumbersome to do it, but Barnett offers this with it. All their Barnett crossbows. That's one thing that one of the main things why I chose Barnett was because of the trigger. I read some reviews on it, and this is probably one of the crispest triggers you'll ever have on a crossbow. It has a expandable butt guard, but this is as far as it goes. This is probably my biggest complaint about it, is I would like for it to be able to extend about another 1.5 inches, so I can sit comfortably on the crossbow. But one thing about it though is with this right here, it hits me right in the sternum when I cock it. So one of the other things about Barnett, one of the key things about it, Barnett's, is this little toothbrush thing right here. It's the arrow holder, and it holds it in nice and firm. So you don't have to worry about if you turn the bow, whichever way you go, the arrow does not move at all. And it's got a knock sensor, so you cannot take it off of safe if the sensor is not set. Alright, so that's that. Now the crossbow has a quiver on it. So the quiver can be mounted in a couple of different ways, and I'm looking at maybe doing this a different way too, because it sits right in the middle of where I put my hand. So when I put my hand, the arrow's poking me in the wrist. But the way to drop it is you push the button down, and it pops out. It's got these little pins on it that sit into it. So I'll take that down for right now. So this is a look at it. Let me spin it around a little bit, let you see all the parts of it. Pretty nice little crossbow, and it is fast. I haven't chronoed it yet, but it says it's 375, and I would probably say it's every bit of it. I've got a block target, and at 25 yards, I'm burying the arrows almost all the way up to the fletchings. So I know that doesn't mean a whole lot, but considering shooting when I used to have my Bowtech Assassin, it was shooting around 320, 315, 320, and it doesn't get near the penetration as what this did. Now, one of the reasons why I changed over to the crossbow, I resisted it a lot of years. But I gotta be real, I'm getting older, and my shoulders, I was in the Marine Corps, and my body took quite a beating over the 13 years I was in the Marine Corps. And now my shoulders are starting to get where they don't hold up as much as I wish they would. So trying to pull a compound bow at 70 pounds is just, it was too much. So I chose to suck it up and go to crossbow. Now I'm not going to say anything bad about people who shoot crossbows, because I know there are some guys who love these things. But why I was so resistant to it is because I felt like it was kind of cheating. That, primitive weapons or primitive season should be somewhat more challenging. Because this is more like shooting a gun than it is shooting a crossbow. I mean, it's really steady. Even in the offhand, I mean, I can hold this thing steady as it can be, and make a really, really good shot. As much better than I could with my my regular bow. And just to give you an idea, usually when I practiced, I had to shoot at 5 different spots with 5 arrows, because if I tried to shoot a group, invariably I would either cut a fletching off, break a knock, or I snapped an arrow and I snapped a broadhead before, because I can almost shoot them in the size of a quarter at 20 yards. So I had to really be conscious about that. And I can tell you, I can do the same thing with this standing. Drive arrows, right beside each other. This thing is insanely accurate. And I'm really pleased with it. Like I said, a couple of things that I don't like about it is because this only goes out this far. If you're kind of a short person, probably would be just fine. But it's just a skosh too short for me. But I make up for it. I just, make some adjustments and it works. It's got a cocking cord, so it's a manual cock. It doesn't have the automatic one on, but it has the space where you can put one in here. So you pop this plug out and you pop the mechanism in this little hole right here, and it comes with it, so you can do the reel crank. You know what? I said, that's almost going over the top for ridiculous. So I figured, I'm going to try and keep as close to having to do some effort until I can't anymore. And cockiness is not really a chore. It seems like it's a 209 pound pull, but pulling it in that direction is way easy. It's really easy to cock this thing. And I never have a question of did it get cocked completely, because when you pull this up, now I just pushed push this back, but normally when you pull it out, it sets the safety for you automatically, so you can't inadvertently let it go and pop it out. So that's the review on the Barnett STR, the Barnett Whitetail Hunter STR. Now, I had to buy a sling for it because it doesn't come with one. It comes with the sling lugs, and this particular one is made by Barnett. I'm not really happy about it. It's probably not the greatest sling that I've ever used. In fact, it's probably the worst sling I've ever used, because it doesn't hold in place. And i.e., this thing slides really easy up and down, and it's a little bit irritating when you're trying to move through the woods quietly and all of a sudden your sling slips. So I'm probably going to be upgrading to a different sling eventually, in the very near future. Also, I wanted to show you the arrows. Let me set this guy to the side here. Alright, my arrows. Alright, so I did a review the other day on the broadheads, but I didn't do a review on the arrows. Alright, so these arrows are made by Bloodsport. They're called a Witness. And one of the things I like about this one, this arrow, is this little white thing right here. Whenever you shoot through a deer, the whatever type of shot you made, lung shot, heart shot, gut shot, whatever, it leaves a color on this white. And it'll be the color of whatever the type of shot was. Not to mention it'll be all the way down here and on the fletchings and everything else. So here's that. Here's my NAP Spitfire. And I put some aftermarket Luminox on here. They're not Luminox, they're an aftermarket one. But one thing I liked about these, and I want to show you this, if I can get up close and if the camera will pick it up, there's a little switch right here on the front. You can probably see it right there. So when the crossbow pushes the little thing down, light comes on, and you see how bright that is? I mean, it's ridiculously bright. Well, in order to turn it off, you just pull the little snap, pops back out. Now, I do have a complaint about these as well. After I shot them a couple times, now whenever I push this all the way up into my knock sensor, if I push it just a little bit too far, it'll actually push this little thing in here and turn the light on, which is a pain in the neck. Not that the deer would probably see it, but it's just my own, my own thing. It just, one of the things that just, I don't like things that don't work exactly right. Put this back in here. Now my beef on this quiver, and this is probably going to be the next thing to go after the sling, is this quiver. This center arrow spot right here, you have to push down extremely hard to get it in there. Almost so much that I was afraid I was going to break my arrow trying to put it in there. So that is probably my biggest concern and my biggest qualm with this arrow, or this quiver, is how hard it is to put the center arrow in. These two slide in just fine, but this center one, it is insanely tight. And these aren't very big diameter arrows. These are only, I think they're 375, and they're not really big, and they should go in here really easy. Now, the ones that came with it are much thicker than this, and it only comes with 2, and I probably know why they only come with 2, because if they can't put 3 in the quiver. So, I'm just saying. But that's my review on the Barnett Whitetail STR. I got it off of Amazon, and I'll put the link down in the description. So if you want to pick one of these up, it was really inexpensive. It was only 314 bucks, which is, for crossbows and the accuracy that this has, you can't beat it. Now they do have another upgrade, another model up from that. It's called the Whitetail Hunter Pro. This is the Whitetail Hunter. The Pro goes about another $100. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you about that. So I just want to thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share our videos so we can spread this love around. But until next time, I'll see you on the next one.